Hi guys, welcome back. So today's tutorial is going to be a highlight and contour tutorial, and this is the look that you're going to see me create. I have changed a few things of how I highlight and contour my face just so it can fit the way my skin feels nowadays and the way I like to look. And this is it. You can still see the nice contour, the highlights in the center, and the bronzing of the face. If you want to see how I achieve this look, then obviously you have to keep watching. And make sure you are subscribed to my channel if you haven't already. Follow my other social medias, watch my previous videos, and of course share my videos and my channel. With that said, we can go right ahead and get started. So my face is ready to go. I've already moisturized, I've primed, I applied the foundation, and I also concealed my under eye area. I like to use a concealer that's close to my skin tone just so I can cover up some of the dark circles that I do get. But I can never cover this little area right here with a concealer that's my skin tone, so I like to use something way brighter. Today I'm going to be using the Sephora Bright Future Concealer. This one is in custard. So it's super light for my skin tone. And all I'm gonna do with this concealer, I'm gonna apply it in this area right here because this is where my darkest point is. As you can see here, that gets pretty dark in there for me. So I'm just gonna apply this right here. And that's it, you guys. This is it for the concealer. I don't apply concealer all over my face anymore, like on the forehead, nose, and all that extra. I've just been trying not to use too much concealer lately, or just products, because my face has, I don't know, I guess it's going through a change. And the more products I apply, even if I moisturize, my face ends up looking kind of leathery and textured, which it looks really bad. In the beginning it looks fine, but an hour in it just totally changes on me and it looks really bad. So I haven't really been applying a lot of foundation and makeup, and foundation and concealer and stuff like that. So I do try and keep it this way. So yeah, this is where I'm going to apply my concealer right now. This is the highlighting concealer. Let me stop rambling, and I'm going to pat this with my ring finger. And I'm going to keep it right where I placed it because this is the area that I want to highlight. And I'm going to go in with the beauty blender or any sponge or whatever, a brush if that's what you like to use, and just blend that out. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. But can you already see how much brighter that looks in there? Do the same thing. Push it in. Keep it where I want it, which is right there. And then I'm going to blend it out with the beauty blender. Now I'm going to be setting my under eye area. Today I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier translucent powder. But you can use the RCMA or the Bare Minerals translucent powder as well. I like those other setting powders as well. But today I'm choosing to use this Laura Mercier, and I'm just going to pat this with the beauty blender on the areas where I placed that concealer and the other concealer, the previous concealer that I used to cover my dark circles as well. So just place this all over your under eye area. And I don't like to bake. It's just something I don't like to do, again, because I don't want to create more texture, and I feel that when I bake, I just create more texture on my face and I don't like it. So I just put enough to set the concealer. And I like using the beauty blender because it takes away whatever my face doesn't need. It just picks it right back up. It deposits and picks up whatever I don't need. And since I do have an oily T-zone, I like to take a little bit of this same translucent powder and apply just a tiny little bit here on my chin, on the nose and around the nose, and right here. So in my T-zone area, I just like to put a little bit of the translucent powder as well, just to set everything down. Now for me, this is it for the highlighting portion of this highlight and contour tutorial, because I feel like my face is already bright enough that adding more light to it, I don't know, it just creates more texture in my face right at this moment. So I do like to keep it super simple. So now I'm gonna move on to the bronzing portion. Said that weird. The bronzing portion of the highlight and contour. Today I'm gonna be using the Balm's Bahama Mama. And the reason I like this bronzer is because it's a nice cool tone type of bronzer. So that's what you want to go for when doing your contour. I mean, it doesn't have to be this exact bronzer, but something within that line. Like, I also like the Lorac Pro Contour. I like to use the medium one right here for contouring my face, because it's not identical to the Bahama Mama, but it's pretty close. This one's a lot darker, obviously, than that one. I think this one is way too dark for me, and I have to go light if I do use the deep contour. I have used it, but that's when I want to be like super extra. Today, we're just doing a nice highlight and contour for like everyday type of look. So yeah, I would use the medium from the Lorac, or if you have the Kat Von D one, then you could probably use the medium, or I guess it depends on your skin tone. So I can't even say which one for you to use. Whatever works for you, in how deep you want it to be, then that's the one you're gonna choose. The whole point is that it's more on the cool tone versus a warm tone bronzer. Yeah, that makes sense. So for this application, I'm gonna be using this crown brush, which is pretty fluffy, but not super fluffy. The bristles are pretty short. I also do like to use the brush that came with the Lorac contour palette. It's a lot thinner, obviously, than the crown brush, but today I'm going to use the crown brush because I want to blend as I apply it. If I use the Lorac one, I just stamp it and apply it, and then I blend up. And now with this one, I'm just going to tap it in a few times, get rid of the excess, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to tap it because I like to tap it first. Can you see that already? You're gonna stay on the top of your ear, and it should be like, you know, connecting to the mouth, but you're not gonna bring it all the way down there. You're just gonna keep it like right behind the eye area. But this is the area where you want to place it. And I just like to dab, dab, dab. Don't bring it down, because then you're defeating the purpose of getting that nice contour. So stay within the top of your ear, align to your mouth, the corner of your mouth, but stay all the way back here. Does that make sense? Let me put this down. So again, this is where you're gonna place the contour, right here. So you see how I lined it up from my mouth to the top of my ear. So this is where my contour is gonna be, but I'm gonna stop right there. So it's gonna be right here, and I'm just gonna blend up, but not too far up. Don't bring it down. Just blend up just a little bit, because all you're trying to create is that nice contour in there. Can you see that? Over here, you can't really see it because everything is flat, one color, but then I turn over here and you can see it right there. So it's just bringing some structure to my face right now. Okay, that's good. Now to the other side, I'm gonna do the same thing. The corner of the ear, the mouth, and the eye, which is right here. So I'm gonna place it right there. And I'm just going to pat it. I don't like to drag the brush because I don't want to move my foundation. Just want to set it right there. And as I'm patting, it moves the contour anyway. All right, you guys, so I'm done with the contouring of my cheekbones. This is the only place I like to use a cool tone bronzer. So now I'm gonna move on to a warmer bronzer. Today I'm gonna be using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This one is the light bronzer. I also like to use the NYC bronzer. This one is in Sunny. It's really good. But I'm gonna be using the Physicians Formula today. I like to use a big fluffy brush for this. This is the BH Cosmetics 108 brush. All right, so the reason I like to go in with a warmer bronzer after I do the cool tone bronzer is because now I just want to bronze my face. Before, I just wanted to contour, and that's where I use the cool tone because it gives me a nice shadow there. Now I want to bring warmth to my face because, as you can see, everything else is like super pale. So I'm just going to tap my brush in here, and I like to start at the top of my forehead and I just bounce it around the hairline area. I bring it over and on top of where I contoured. So you can see it warms up, but I still have a nice cool undertone right there. I bring it around the ear and under the jawline. Bring it down a little bit towards my neck as well, just to warm everything up and it doesn't look weird. You know, like I don't want my neck to look totally different than what the rest of my face does. So the same thing on the other side. I start at the top, just bounce that right there around the hairline. Bring it right over where I just contoured, around the ear and into the jawline and down the neck. Since I'm using this light bronzer, I can apply as much as I want. This is why I like this one as well as the Sunny by NYC, because you can't overdo it. I mean, it's nice and light, and if you want to add a little bit more, you just pack it on and then a little bit more until you're happy with how bronzed your face looks. Now, there are days that I like to be a little bit extra and I do contour my nose. This doesn't happen all the time. It's very rare that I do this, but when I do want to be extra, I do use the light bronzer as well. I always go with a light bronzer because I don't like harsh lines, especially on my nose. So I rather go with a lighter bronzer than a darker bronzer, if that makes any sense. I like to use this brush. This is an e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush, which looks like this. The bristles are pretty, they're not super long, but they're like medium size and it's fluffy. So as I apply it, I blend it out. So this is why I like using this. And I just go right there on the top, like starting from my brow bone, my brows. And I bring it I'm barely touching my skin. Softly bringing it down to the tip of my nose. And that's it. You guys can see that versus here. I hope you can see it. Now let me do the same thing over here. Can you see that? That's it. That's all I do. So you guys, this is all I do for my highlights and contouring as well as bronzing my face. This is how I structure my face. It's nice and light, but it's there. As you can see, I have structure, a little bit of structure of my nose. I don't apply, like I said, I don't apply the concealer, the light concealer down my nose and the forehead and all that stuff, because as you can see, you can still see the brightness in the center because I have bronzer all around these areas. And I have the contour shade right here and then the highlight in that inner corner, so it lightens up the center of my face anyway. If you want to go a step further, you can use a more shimmery highlight, which I'm gonna use. I'm not gonna go super shimmery. If I go super shimmery, I love to use the Ofra Rodeo Drive highlight. This is such a beautiful but intense highlight. I also like to use the Anastasia Sun Dip palette. I have a bunch of like super vibrant highlights, but today I'm gonna take it a notch down. So I'm gonna use the Spotlight palette in Pearl by Smashbox and Casey Holmes. The brushes I like to use when I do this highlights, it's either a fan brush or this Luxie small contouring brush. This is a 512 brush. Today I'm going to be using the fan brush, and I'm going to take all three of the highlights because I can't decide which one I want to use. I'm just going to pick up all three of them and I'm going to fan them on the tops of my cheekbones right there. There you go, so pretty. And now with the tip of the brush, I go into all three of them again. And now, like I said, I don't like to add like concealer highlight on the top of my nose because I feel that I don't need it. I don't know, I just don't. So I do go with the highlight, shimmering highlight, and I just apply it right here on the bridge of the nose. Just tap it right there. Every once in a while will do the tip of my nose. I don't do it a lot because I feel like my nose is round at the tip and it just accentuates the roundness. So I mean, if you like it, then go right ahead. Like I said, I do it sometimes, not all the time. I prefer doing it right here. If you don't want to use a brush, you can also use your ring finger and just apply it right there. It gives you a nice soft glow. And then the last place I like to apply this highlight is on a Cupid's bow. That's it, you guys. If you don't like that harsh, streaky looking highlight, then guess what? Just go back to the brush you used the bronzer with and tap over it. And it blends everything in. I do like to apply the highlights before I go in with the blush. So if you are doing blush, then I would advise to do it this way. But if you like a super streaky or like in your face type of highlight, then obviously do the highlight last. I just like to blend everything so it looks nice and blended. That's just my preference. And this is it, you guys. This is all I do nowadays to highlight and contour my face. I hope you found this tutorial informative, and I hope I was able to help some of you guys out there. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you are subscribed to my channel, share my channel and my videos, watch my previous videos, and follow my other social media. Leave me comments, questions down below. We can chat, we can become buddies and all that good stuff. So yeah, you guys, thank you, and until next time, mwah, hugs and kisses, bye.